This is a crazy story. Ministers are considering sending migrants to Ascension Island in Plan B if the Rwanda scheme fails. We're going to have a look at this here from iNews, guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an article from iNews. The headline reads that ministers are considering sending migrants to Ascension Island in Plan B if the Rwanda scheme fails. When are they going to stop this? This is just passing one problem after another. This is so infuriating, guys. I hope this is just talk. But my goodness gracious me, it is just so infuriating. The Conservative government, we all know there is a very simple way of stopping migrants crossing the boats. Very simple way. Set up an asylum centre in Calais or in other places on the other side of the river. And people will go there and their claims can be processed over there. And they don't have to make that crossing, and we can end this debacle. And now, because they can't get a plane to take off to send immigrants on it because of human rights, and rightly so, now they're looking at sending them to Ascension Island. This is so desperate from the Conservatives, a desperate attempt, and it's just outrageous. Remember, these are human beings with emotions and feelings and that, who come to the UK with the vast majority of them with the intention of looking for a better way of life here. They want to contribute to society, and instead this is how we treat them, or more specifically, this is how the Conservative British government are treating them. Reports of plans to send migrants to Ascension Island come after the government's Rwanda policy on asylum seekers was ruled unlawful in June. Apologies. A Home Office minister said the government is still confident in its plans to send illegal migrants to Rwanda will work, despite reports it is considering reviving a plan to send migrants to a remote island in the South Atlantic. Ministers are said to be reconsidering moving migrants to Ascension Island, a remote British overseas territory 4,000 miles from the UK, before a permanent destination for them is found, according to the Times and the Daily Mail. The plan was previously considered by Priti Patel, Suella Braverman's successor, as Home Secretary. Oh dear. This is just sending them 4,000 miles away. It's not going to work again. It's just talk. It's rhetoric. It's nothing but rhetoric, guys. It is reportedly being looked at again by the government as a Plan B, as its current plan to send migrants to Rwanda faces continuing legal challenges. The Rwanda plan was ruled unlawful by the Supreme Court in June, and the government is awaiting an appeal on the decision. Commenting on the reports on Monday morning, Home Office Minister Sarah Dines insisted the government was still confident that Rwanda was going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Asked whether Ascension Island is being considered as a possible destination for migrants, she told Sky News, "We're not going to confirm whether it's a possibility." So you're not saying no and you're not saying yes either. We're looking at lots of different measures we have discussed all the time. We, as any responsible government, responsible guys, responsible. Do we think they're a responsible government? Let me know down in the comments below if you think they're a responsible government. With many countries. Mrs. Dines continued, "The crisis in the Channel is urgent. We need to look at all possibilities. That's what we're doing. We're determined to make sure it isn't the pull factor for illegal migrants to come to this country, basically to be abused by criminal organised gangs, these international operations, and it's got to stop." She added that the department's current focus was making sure migrants arriving in the UK were provided with basic but proper accommodations and not luxurious. If you come to the country from a safe country unlawfully, you can't expect to stay in a 4-star hotel, she added. I'm not even going to comment on that one. Her comments come amid reports that the first migrants are expected to be housed on the busy Stockholm barge moved off the Dorset coast. And the floating facility will eventually host around 500 men at a time under government efforts to reduce the use of hotels to house people awaiting the result of asylum claims. Asked when the first arrivals were expected, Mrs. Stein said it would be within the coming days. You understand for operational reasons I'm not going to confirm that, but we're hoping in the coming days it will be imminent, she said. The plan has proved controversial, with refugee charities claiming housing migrants on a barge could be impacted their safety and locals expressing concern about how the area would be impacted. Ministers have also explored housing migrants on a former cruise ship but face opposition plans to moor the ship into some area. Cruise ship, how desperate. It's just desperation for anything. On Monday, the government announced fresh deterrent measures in an attempt to reduce the number of migrants, including increasing fines for employers and landlords who deploy or house them. From early 2024, the maximum fine for employers will be raised from 15,000 to 45,000. For repeated breaches, fines from 20,000 to 60,000. Yeah, I've covered those numbers in a short video. If you guys want to, in a short video. But Ascension Island, 4,000 miles off the coast of the UK, guys. No, not as if we're talking about, from an environmental point of view, shipping them on a plane to Rwanda, as if that's not going to be bad enough for the environment. Let's ship them somewhere 4,000 miles away. It's a joke. It's rhetoric. It's nothing but rhetoric from the Home Office and their desperate attempts to make people think that these people are bad and they're coming for you, they're coming to take your jobs and all this kind of malarkey. It's how many times have we talked about these people just wanting to have a better life? The very fact that they're considering this is crazy. And I hope once again that human rights steps in and stops any of these barbaric decisions, because these people deserve better. We are treating them so badly under this Conservative government. Are treating them so badly. And I do hope. I know Labour are kind of with they're kind of being a bit right wing with some of their tone about immigration to appeal to some of the right wing voters, sort of thing. But part of me does generally believe that Labour will be more caring if they come into government at the next general election, if they do. That's my kind of thought process. But what do you guys make of Ascension Island as Plan B instead of the Rwanda scheme, guys? Do you honestly think it can work? Do you honestly think that it's going to take off? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, share and subscribe as always. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.